Hey, happy Thursday. I have been working on crochet all day, but I haven't been feeling like talking. But now that I feel a little bit better, here is one thing that I finished. First thing off the belt is one sleeve. So that's pretty neat. I think actually I finished all of these eyeballs. I still haven't counted how many I have here, but I finished all the eyeballs. Well, I gotta do some sewing, but that's sewing. That's a separate task. I was working on another sleeve, but I got bored of working on this, so I just set it to the side. So instead of that, I decided to work on this guy, and my vision is only getting worse. I used to not be that bad about crocheting in black yarn, but it is so much harder to crochet backwards, if you know what I mean. Because, like, you have to turn your work. It's so much harder to read that than it is, well, during the day. So this will be on pause for a little bit. You can't even see the stitches. Like, okay, there you can, but from back here, you can't read it, can you? So this is going to the side until my eyesight gets a little bit better. I need to take my jacket off. I'm warm. My toes are cold though, so it's a little confusing. But I think what I need to do is start on the wings for these. This absolutely is overwhelming me. It's taking up my whole entire desk. Like, this is a whole pile of what looks like scrap yarns. So I need to take care of this mess and then move on so I can take care of the mess that's right here of all the working yarns. And that way I can have room to do another project because I love projects here. I can't stop myself. How do we feel about this? I did try to use a smaller hook at first to do the wings, but then I realized that I would have made the wings way too small. So now I used a 5mm hook for this. Hold on, let me put it somewhere it's a little bit easier for me to hold it. My pile of napkins came in clutch. So I did this in a bigger yarn, but then you can see through it, and I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of don't really like it. I might look for another bat wing pattern because I'm not quite sold on this. I did add like little white things right here to give it more of a cartoony look. I don't know if I like that either. So I'm going to look at other bat wing patterns. This one might be it, but also it might not be it. I'm enjoying this pattern a lot more. So these wings are my own pattern. I gleaned a little bit off of Garn Studios pattern, but then I just like kind of went on my own. Basically, you start off with 6 double crochets, and then you increase for 2 rows, and then you do like a double crochet, half double crochet, single crochet like pattern throughout, and then to finish it off you do the picots right here. I kind of like it. It's ugly underneath right there, but the eyeball covers it, so I think it's fine. I don't know if it gives bat anymore, but it gives something, right? Hello from my car. I'm getting ready to go over to Magic Kingdom because I don't want to sit in an hour plus traffic. Last time I left around this time, I sat in traffic for 2 hours. Granted, 2 of those hours were my own fault. Or not 2 of those hours, about like 15 of those minutes was my own fault because I went to Chipotle and picked up an order, but like 2 hours and it's only going to get worse. So yeah, we're switching over. I'm going to hang out at Magic Kingdom. I'm gonna get like a salted cold brew, whatever, and bring my crochet bag, finish up this little thing, maybe, I don't know, get my electronics out of here because I don't want that melting in the car because it's hot. It's not too hot actually, it's kind of cooled down. So all right, I'll see you guys out there. Maybe cold brew required. It's very loud. No talking. Great success. I shaved off a whole 18 minutes of sitting in traffic, which doesn't sound like a lot, but to me that's 18 minutes of not stop go. And then on top of that, I got to crochet, which is what I wanted to do in the first place. So yippee. All right, we're gonna go home. I showed the other vlog, the crochet in the parks vlog, my project. It's just a bray. Going home. On top of not having to sit in traffic for like ever. I'm saving gas because what if I sat in 2 hours of traffic again, you know? It's more guaranteed that at 7:30-ish, there's not going to be as much traffic. So, yeah, okay. For realsies, driving home. Hi, good morning. No mic, so hopefully you can hear me. But I love this pattern. I'm getting better and better. And as I've said before, I'm getting better at reading patterns. And that's incredible because now I know what's going on here. I see what's going on. I understand the construction. And like, it's not hard to understand the construction for this one because like I've sewn before, but this one, just being able to read the pattern and understanding the words because I took such a long time getting back into sewing, extremely beneficial. I have tried this pattern before on a tablecloth, and if you know anything about ripping seams on tablecloths or any polyester kind of cloth, it does not seam rip well at all. So it's in my whip pile of repair or get rid of. Anyways, we've got the facing attached to the working fabric and we've got the shoulder straps on. Once this portion is done, well, okay, so I have to sew down the edges, all of these that's attached to, and then after that flip it, and then after that add buttons, and then sew down the edges because I like to sew my trim. I don't know, it just kind of helps me reinforce the edges because I don't think I'm that great of a sewist, but I do have this pattern in this size, and I think I may have it in another size. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember. But if I don't, I might go buy it again because this was super simple, super easy. It is simplicity, but if you're ADHD like me and struggle, because I suspect I'm dyslexic, and that's why I struggle with reading so much. I used to love reading as a kid, but then I got older and I did it less because I was more into music. And because of that, like I can read music notes just fine. Those aren't words. They're literal, like there's clear indications where they are. But reading a bunch of words, like let me just show you. This, too many word. Brain can't compute. But now brain understand what's going on. So I gotta go to work, but I just wanted to show you an update on this because I'm pretty proud of it. I think I know this can be done within the next 2 days as long as I work on it before work. I think I have some time tomorrow too if I get done with my shower early. But yeah, I'm so excited. Good morning from daylight savings time. We sprung forward and I'm exhausted, but today's Sunday, even though I have a 9:30 shift and had to wake up an hour earlier and go to bed almost immediately when I got home, I'm awake. And I'm not going to be late, even though it's a later leaving time. It's mostly because it's Sunday. Nobody's driving on the roads. Anyways, we've got the lining attached. I just need to iron it down and then I'll do more work on it when I get home. Maybe. I don't know. But I want to try to get more of this done. Megacon's in 2 weeks. One of my leaders reminded me that, and I was like, oh shoot, I have nothing done. At work, I got some drawings done because I was on registers, and I think I have a new idea for my arm sleeves. I'll show you guys later when I get home because at this point, I'm probably running late. But yeah, we got the lining put together. Got to iron it down, sew down the edges, make it a little bit crispy. And then we got to add... I did this backwards. Well, it's fine. It's all fine. You know what? It's fine. I should have sewed it on to the back. Oh no! What are the buttons? The buttons in the front or the back? I don't know, man. Well, I'll figure it out when I get it. Oh, that is the back. JK. Okay, I'm fine. Okay, I'm good. Let's go to work. Good morning. This is the fit now. I just got to add the buttons. And then right here, I'm just going to sew them down. I know it says that I need to put buttons, but I ain't doing all that because that's just too much work. And plus, once the button holes are on, it's over. We're just going to sew it down, and if I need to adjust it, I can. That's kind of like my rule of thumb. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. If I stretch it back and try to like hold it closed, it kind of like right here. I don't really like that, but I think that's just, it is what it is. I also don't like that it's white, but that's all I can find in the thrift stores is either Christmas tablecloth or white bed sheets. So I gotta work with what I got. But now that this is almost done, I'm kind of in the sewing mode. I didn't come home and tell you guys about that arm band, whatever that I wanted to tell you guys about. And I can go grab the paper real quick. Hold on. Here's what I worked on. So the armband, there's like a pattern I'll put right here. And the pattern teaches you how to like, where's the chair? So this pattern tells you how to like expand it. Like, okay, I've had this pattern saved on Xiaohongshu because like I use my Xiaohongshu like a Pinterest. And it's really hard to describe how I use it like Pinterest. You can make kind of like mood boards. I never used Pinterest the same way as other people did before I stopped using it. I just looked at it and was like, ooh, I like that. And I would just download photos and then I would upload them to TikTok and be like 1940s like hairstyles or something. And essentially I was doing the same thing, but just putting it in video form. But anyways, I do that with crochet patterns. And the pattern that I found, the one that I showed you guys, that one is very similar in doing like the 3D crochet stitches. And it has like ways to extend. So I'm going to take some inspiration from that and use that to expand because I want like sleeves that expand. And I'm pretty sure I can finish this crochet project in time. I have to put all my other crochet projects to the wayside, but I'm pretty sure I can do this within the next 2 weeks. I got my schedule, and the schedule that just dropped shows my requested days off for Megacon. Oh boy, I want to finish the shorts that go with this. I think I'm going to try to do sleeves. I'm going to have to make them myself. And then if I have time, I'll do a hat. And it's going to be a little witch's hat. And I got to figure out how I'm going to do that. Because, like, I'm not really that good at making hats sewing wise. Even crochet wise, I'm not the best. It's a test of my patience. But I've gotten better. I have wire, so I can do the brim better. And I just think that it'd be a good way to be like, okay, this is my mock-up. And then I'll start doing, oh, by the way, while I was driving yesterday, I thought about like a good idea for more of these because I think I want to buy these in multiple patterns. I I need to learn how to make my own patterns or like take something and expand on it because I do really, really enjoy this pattern. But it's not plus size friendly. According to Victoria's Secret, I'm like super plus size. But there are other people that are more plus size than I am, and I don't want anybody to feel left out when I'm making clothes. This is something that I think I could make for multiple body types if I had the patterns for them. On top of that, this trim right here, I had a great idea of like just switching this out with other fabrics, like more printed fabrics. I have a mutual that I recently followed, Purple Seamstress Fabric, I think that's their name. And they do custom prints, and I want to reach out to them eventually and give them some ideas. I don't know if they draw it or it's all from their own mind. I don't know how they do it, but they do custom fabric prints, and I want to one day support them because I think that's a fabulous thing that they can offer to the sewing community. It's so hard for us right now. I was reminiscing about Joanne last night and how easy it was to just go to the store last minute and grab stuff from the shelves. Like if I had this idea and I needed to get it out of my brain, because I'm the type of person, if I wait more than a few days for materials to come in, I ain't getting stuff done. And then on top of that, like last Halloween was so sad with my sewing. Usually I get like 4 or 5 projects knocked out. And like, granted, this means I can like really enjoy the process and really like learn how or what I want to do more. Like, I'm learning that I do like doing the same thing over and over again. It's not very marketable to TikTok, I'm not going to lie. It's hard to market like your sewing when you're doing the same thing over and over again. However, it was really nice to be able to like pick up the newest Halloween fabric, see the newest Halloween fabric and be like, oh boy, I'm so excited to work with that. I want to make something out of it right now. And it also helped me challenge myself to make things out of new patterns because I would always buy a new pattern alongside it. And granted, I do save money by not having Joanne anymore because Michael's just ain't it. I get anxiety. If I have to go ask somebody to come all the way back to the back from the front to go cut my fabric for me, we do have a cutting table now, which that's a surprise. For the longest time, it was just a folding table with the worst scissors and just a cutting board, like the little cutting board I use in my house. Like, they need a specialist for cutting fabric. They need a specialist to be able to do framing because they got people that do that. They need somebody that can do balloons. Those are 3 separate roles, especially with fabric cutting, because we as seamstresses, I guess that's what I can call myself. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't really think I'm a seamstress. I just do make things. I'm a garment maker. We as garment makers, we're very, very specific about some of our stuff, especially the more expensive stuff. We have like very specific things. And if you don't know how to measure something, you're just going to piss off a lot of the seamstresses. We have like specific things that we need. And like, it's no offense to the employee. They're just being thrown to the wolves. So anyways, enough of that rant. I'm going to go back into the room. I'm going to sew on these buttons, sew on these straps. I'm really liking how this sits right now. So I'm going to probably enjoy it once everything is down. I'll give you guys another like fit check once I finish this. And then I'm going to start cutting out the fabric for the shorts. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do all of this. I'm hoping I can. Oh, by the way, for Megacon, I have 4 days to get prepared to do, or 4 days to wear outfits. Thursday, I usually just do like a casual outfit, so something I would normally wear outside in general. Maybe do some fun makeup, maybe. Friday and Saturday are usually the days that I do wear outfits because those are the busiest days, and like I can go back to the room and just take it off and whatever. So Friday, I'm planning on doing my Fallout outfit because one of my old coworkers, she came back and picked up a shift with us, but she is going to be there on Friday. So we'll run into each other, and I'm very happy and excited to see her. I adore her. You wouldn't think that she was like into cosplay and all that. She's definitely like your typical cheerleader, straight A valedictorian type person. And gosh, she's so sweet. And I'm excited to see her at Megacon and just say hi to her and see how she's doing. So she'll be there on Friday and I'll meet up with her. And then Saturday, I'm going to wear my crochet outfit because that one definitely like it is going to keep me a little bit more insulated, especially since like Saturdays are so overwhelming. I think last Saturday we spent the majority of it in the hotel room. Like we would go back and forth, back and forth. It was really nice and I can't wait to do that again. I know we're paying a lot of money to be in Megacon on Saturday, but we're also paying a lot of money to have the hotel room. So I'm going to use the hotel room. And then Saturday, or no, that was Saturday, Sunday, I'm probably going to do another casual outfit. Don't know what. We'll figure it out. Maybe I'll wear this, but I'm also considering wearing it for the Hanabi concert because we're doing that on the Tuesday. We've got a lot coming. Oh, and then my new schedules should be dropped where I start working Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I don't know. Hopefully it went through. I gotta double check, talk with my leadership, let them know, hey, I can no longer work Friday, Saturdays because I'm starting to get real serious about my business, my small business. So I really want to keep this job and I really like being here. It depends on the day. But yeah, okay, let's go back to the sewing room. Here's the update. It's done. And honestly, it's a little bit rough because I'm not somebody that wears white very often. I'm just going to sit down because it's the easiest way for you guys to see my shirt. But yeah, like I said, I don't really wear white very often. So I'm not like the biggest fan of this, but this is the first time I've completed this pattern. And I know I like it now. I will say this strap is a little bit loose, but that's also okay. I can just pull down the back a little bit and then maybe it won't be as loose. This is the front. This is the back. And this is one that I had to like button in the front and then turn around. I made it loose enough where I could do that. I like it. Maybe I will fix this. I don't know. I don't feel like going back and seam ripping it and then redoing it. It's cumbersome and I'd rather not do that. So yeah, this is done. We're gonna go ahead and start cutting out the fabric for the shorts. I know I like this fabric. Whatever this cotton is, it said it's like it didn't say it was Egyptian cotton. I don't remember what it said, but it's some kind of cotton. And I have a feeling it was made for hotels because like we used to have a bunch of hotels down the road that I live off of because we're right there next to Disney. My city that I live in is a huge tourist center. It was one of the original tourist locations in Florida that weren't beaches. And then, Disney came along and that kind of killed all the tourism in this area. We used to have a bunch of orange fields too, orange groves. And so people would come down, try fresh orange. Like you could see signs still that says fresh squeezed oranges, which is like, okay, well, so what nowadays, But like back then, that was a huge deal because like I remember, I think it was my great grandfather. There was a story about him, not a story, but like my grandparents were reminiscing on them and how or maybe it was my grandpa. Actually, it might have been my grandpa. He would send fresh oranges from here in our area because my grandparents live just one city away from us. And they would send it in the mail in a box all the way up to like Montana or something or Wisconsin to other family members. And they would have to tell him, hey, we really appreciate what you're trying to do, but they're dying in the mail and they're rotting. Please stop doing that. Because it was a huge deal back in the day. And it was like a tourist trap kind of thing, but like it was legitimately the only place really that oranges really grew besides in California. Most of our oranges died down here. There was like a outbreak of some kind of bacteria, basically like a tree cancer is what some people call it, but it killed all basically the orange groves. And because they're dead, they can't like it takes a long time for orange trees to grow. So a lot of businesses invested in those lands and just sprung up a bunch of houses. I'm sure this house that I'm in, it was definitely one of those. And like it's kind of sad to see because there used to be so much farmland. Like you can debate whether the farmlands were bad for Florida soil as well. Because like if you want to go back to it, ancient Florida did not have all these oranges. Like I don't think oranges are necessarily native to Florida or certain parts of Florida. They just grew really well down here. So that's why there was like a lot of orange groves down here. But either way, I'm done with this and I'm proud of myself for finally finishing a sewing project after so many months. Let me go start doing those shorts because if I don't start it now, I'm going to get tired and I'm going to want to sit down in front of my computer and do my crochet, which isn't a bad thing. It's not. But I really want to get more of this done. I'm going to do the shorts, and then after I'm done with the shorts, I'm going to try to do the sleeves. I think I am just going to make it into like a jacket sort of style. I got to figure out what I want to do for the bodice part, but I know the sleeves I want to use because those are just it's these wide billowing sleeves and I can't wait to make those. So let's get started. Phenomenal news. I can reuse some of my scrapped pants for my pattern. and not worry because like I have not enough pattern. Okay, so these shorts, whatever, these ones right here, I had to use the leftover fabric to make it. I do have this side of pants still left, so I'm going to scrap that. I don't remember what that one is, but I'm going to scrap it for something else. But this was the waistline or waistband on the pants, and I'm able to use this a little bit smaller. It's a little bit strange because I don't, oh, I think this one had the buttons, and that's why it's bigger than this. But these are one side of the pant legs. I don't remember which side. It doesn't matter. But I was able to do these two pieces on these pant legs. It's already doubled, so I don't have to like do anything. Well, I do have to do something. I have to cut these side backs out, side back, side front. This is going to be working up really fast because I'm not recording any of it for TikTok because I've done this pattern multiple times and I don't think anybody needs to see this again, except for maybe y'all, as I kind of like talk through what I'm doing. Maybe a little bit, but I'll give you guys updates as I go along because I'm feeling a little bit more confident now that I know what this is, and like I'm feeling more confident in my sewing again. I don't know how much of an update I'm going to give you guys because it's the same shorts over and over again. I'm so excited. It's sewing season. Real quick, I had to spray some WD-40 on this because the squeaks were getting really annoying. And this blade is still pretty decent. I feel like it's not bad enough that I want to change it out. Plus, I don't know where all my blades are. So I sprayed it. Hopefully, next time I use it, I won't have this issue again. I hate having to wear my earplugs for literally everything. Sometimes I do it just to get me in the zone, but I'm watching YouTube. I don't want to wear my headphones for that. So anyways, everything has been cut out. There's this last piece and then everything else is right there. And then I just got to fold this, get some organization. That's the zipper I'm going to use. I need to order more. Oh, I forgot to cut. Dang it. I'll just use scissors. We'll be fine. Okay, so we've got one side pinned together. We've got all the darts drawn in. I know that this is going to be too thin of a fabric and I'm going to have to wear leggings or like bicycle shorts underneath this, or I could dye it and then like dye the top. I kind of want to do this thing where I dye the bottom like a black color or maybe even purple. Oh, I have to pee, so I'm going to try to make this quick. But I'm going to dye this and then dip dye the top, and I think that would be super stinking cute. But yeah, we've got this. I haven't pinned down the pleats yet because I want to do that after. I'm going to try something different this time. So I only have one side pinned down so that I remember which side I've started on, and that way I can remember which one's front and which one's back, because I always have this issue with these pants where I forget which one's front and which one's back, and then I just try to zip it up wherever. It's basically the same on both sides, so it doesn't really matter, I feel like. But also, I feel like it does kind of matter because they've specifically said, hey, this is the front, this is the back, you know? So I want to try to make sure I know which one's front, which one's back. And then after I do that, I'm going to add the zipper and then do the pleats. Something like that. And then, yeah, I'll show you guys. I got to pee. Update. We've got it sewed down both sides and we now have it ironed. I do need to sew down these guys. I think I'm going to wait just a little tiny bit. I'm going to do the pleats first and then I'll do that. I'm going to attach these together. I'm going to attach it. I need to remember which side's front, which side's back. That is very important. But I think I can get this done today, which is kind of a miracle because it took me like a month to get that top done. To be fair though, I think they were just about the same amount of pieces, if not more. I don't know. It was my first time trying that pattern, and I love it, by the way. Lining is kind of not the bane of my existence, but it is definitely a bitch to work with, but it's fine. Everything's fine. I think this is going to look good. Oh, by the way, there's a stain here, and I don't know if you guys can tell on the camera. Probably not. I can see it with my bare eyes, but also, can you guys see through? Probably not. We're going to finish this. I think I have full faith we can finish this today. And honestly, I might be on my way to be able to finish the Gajinka that I had started months ago and never got around to. Maybe. I'm not going to do the crochet portion. I'm just going to make a witch's hat, and it's not really going to be like Litwick themed. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe I can do like a little purple here or there to like remind people that it's Litwick. I think I have a Litwick Pokemon card somewhere in my pile, so maybe I could do like a little card holder, like the photo card thing. Maybe that's what I can do. And then I have all those florals over there. I don't know if you guys know about my florals. You probably do, but here's a reminder. I have florals right there I could use in the hat if I have time to do the witch's hat, because I think I want to do that. I bought a wig for it and everything, and I just never got around to it. But with this being such a fast workup, I think I can at least get a little bit closer to it. We'll see. You guys can see the stain now. I just realized that this stain is from this because I had laid all my fabrics over on this side and I forgot this was here rusting or derusting. So bad news for me. That's not going to come out because rust does not come out of cotton. It's percale cotton, it, by the way. I don't know what that means and what the significance is. It's cotton. This isn't going to come out. So I will definitely have to dye this later. Luckily, this is on the inside. Let me see if you can see it on the outside. Yeah, you can. Well, I'm not going to dye it anytime soon. You can barely see it unless you're like really up close. And as I always say, if you can see it, you're too close, you need a backup. So I'm going to finish sewing down these seams. I just finished pinning all of them, but that's, oh, I think I can do it. A little bit of an update before I go lay down because my fingies hurt. We've got one of these legs done because I was like, I'm not ready to start thinking yet. So I got one done and, well, kind of. I got the black portion done. So I had to finish doing the blood strips or drips and then I got to sew that in. But that's on its way. So we started on the arm warmer thing. And as a reminder, this is what the pattern looks like. So I'm taking kind of inspiration from the extensions or like the increases in a way. So in between the diamonds is where I'm doing the increases, but I'm doing it once every time the edges get to the end. Oh, let me just show you. So here it is so far. We've got the increases are in between these two rows. So the point is right here. I didn't do the increase there. I did the increases right here on each side except for this side because I'm going to end up sewing it in like this. It looks better than I thought it would. Okay, so like when I'm looking down at it like this, because I'm looking at it the whole entire time, I'm like, ugh, that doesn't really look that good. But I'm going to be so honest, looking at it in the viewfinder, this looks interesting. It looks fun. It's different, and I'm really enjoying this. So we're going to continue doing this until I'm done, I guess. Well, I'm going to take a nap first and then continue after that. But this is going to take a few rows. This has been a little bit confusing. I do really like this, and I think it'd be a fun little pattern for a skirt too. So I don't think I'll have time to do this, but I might start it once I finish these because I do really, really enjoy the pleat looking deal. All right, it's nap time. Good morning. Here's the outfit for the day. I actually really like how this combo works. I've been needing like a top that kind of matches this and this because this only matches this. This I could put with almost anything else. I didn't have anything for all three together. So this is pretty nice. I probably should make a bandana that kind of matches. This is a dark gray as opposed to the light gray in here, but I don't think it's that bad. I do think that the white is a little bit much. Maybe I should go with a gray, dye it gray or something. I do feel like I'm going to end up dyeing this anyways, but for now, this is what it's going to be. I like it. It's comfy cozy. I think it's a little bit too big on me, but that's all right because I'll go back into it eventually, probably. If not, I could just sell it. I'll just make another size. It's no big deal. It does fit. So I was saying this yesterday. I do have to button it like this way first and then slide it around, which not the worst. I could honestly probably just slide it over me, but I haven't tried that and I don't think I want to do that anytime soon. So yeah, this is the outfit. We're going to go out to I don't know where we're going, but we're leaving in about 30 minutes to go look at a couch. It's $50. It said $5 on Facebook, but my husband found it and they want $50 for it. It's a nice like L couch and we've been wanting one for a while and we just haven't gotten one because it's expensive. And there's a hole on my wall. Hold on. That's something we're going to have to fix. That's the drywall that peeled off. So during the hurricane season, if we're about to get a really bad hurricane, I asked my husband to this is going to sound awful, to nail down some covers around my windows so that if the windows break in, it'll be caught by that material that's covering the windows. And I guess it just chipped away at one of the weak points of this drywall. So maybe we'll have to get plaster to fix that. Anyways, yeah, that's what we're doing today. I'm going to try Dutch Bros for the first time today, and that's kind of exciting. Everybody talks about it, and I don't know. I just want to try it to see if I like it. I'm going to get the Oob Starbucks. Just kidding. Sorry. I shouldn't be mean. But also, it's Ube, not Oob. Anyways, okay, I gotta go. So we saw the couch today, and it looks good. It smells fine. There's a couple of rips in it, but honestly, I can just embroider over it if I want to. I probably won't, because I don't know if it's going to come with us when we move out of this house eventually, but we'll see. It'll be better than the couch that we've had that's been around since like the 70s and smells like dog vomit and also just feels awful because I keep on getting rips in my pants because of it. Yeah. So we're gonna maybe go and grab it on Thursday. We gotta make sure that we can get the U-Haul first to do all this stuff. But now we're on our way to Epcot because there are no reservations needed. It's a good to go day and I would just like to go. We're only going to be there for like a couple hours and then we're going to come before the traffic starts up because it is a Tuesday. And then we're going to go to Publix to get some water and groceries. And then, yeah. Oh, also, by the way, gas has raised a whole $1 in like a week. So it's probably going to get worse and I'm not looking forward to it, but we got to do what we got to do in a car-centric world, unfortunately. First Dutch Bros espresso stout kicker. You could get the music on, it's good. This is also pretty good. Yummy. I finished editing, but I'm finishing this up real quick because I want to show you guys a finished project at the end of this video, and I haven't really talked to y'all this week. Ugh. Good evening. It took me a while to come and edit this video because I got really obsessed with RuneScape Dragon Wilds, and on top of that, like, watching Pocopia videos because I want the game and I'm too poor to afford the system for it. And the game! But anyways, we're at the very end of the video where I talk about everything that we made this week. And to be honest, it was a lot more sewing than crochet, which is fine for me because I typically enjoy sewing a little bit more. It's easier to fix my mistakes. But crochet is just one of those like comfort things. Anyways, we finished one leg. Ta-da! And we will be continuing. It doesn't look too... I don't know. I might not have finished one leg. I might need to go back and re-edit that. But we finished that one. And then we finished the sleeve. And I didn't talk to you guys about this basically at all because I was just in a funk. So while I was sewing, which we'll get to the sewing room soon, but while I was sewing, I started getting into my headspace and I got really sad because I'm like 30, I'm almost 34. Tomorrow is my 34th birthday and I feel very lonely a lot of times, especially IRL, because I just always feel like an outcast. But let's not talk about that because I'm just going to cry and I don't want to cry. Anyways, I finished one sleeve. Here is, well, let me undo it. Ta-da! I want to make this into a skirt so badly. Once I'm done with this and Megacon is all over and all that, I want to make a skirt out of this. I just think it's so cute. And I honestly might, I don't know. I might just make a skirt instead. Just sew the panels together. So what I did, you can see the pattern basically, but I did 1 square and then I did 4 square and then I did 1 square. And you can lengthen as you wish. And on top of that, we did the back loop, front loop, or whatever. Oh, you can kind of see the pattern on the back there too. Oh, that's pretty neat. Anyways, we did a pattern. I'm happy with pattern. I didn't even write it down because I was so sad, but I think this would be a phenomenal skirt in the future. So that's something I'm going to work towards. I don't think I want to make it into an arm sleeve. It was supposed to be. I mean, it is still going to be an arm sleeve because that looks cute too. Like, let's be honest here. Any way I wear it is going to be cute. So this is one side. I need to remember that between these 2 points and these 2 points, I did increases. That way I could add the extra ones. I think, oh wait, no. Okay, so the small diamond in the middle, that's where I did all the increases, but I only increased up until this row, I believe. Either this row or this row, so that I could add these 2 in. And then I just I didn't decrease at all. I just kept on going. I just wanted the one less diamond at the bottom, and I thought that looked cool. So yeah, that's going to be really neat to display. I'm going to try to get this done by Megacon. We have about a week. Nope, it's a week from now. So let's go over to the sewing room where I can show you that. I'm not going to show you the beret because the beret is the beret. Also, I'm not going to show you the sleeve because I forgot I did it. I saw it, but like I was like, oh, and that's just the sleeve. So let me go grab the first thing. We're not in the sewing room. We're in the bathroom. Dun dun! We have another top. Well, it's not another. It's the first one of the year. So we did work on this. I lied earlier. I did say it was my first time working on it. It's my second time, but the first time I understood it. Well, yeah, the first time I didn't understand it, but this is my first understanding of it. So it's pretty comfortable. I did wear it longer than I thought I was going to wear it, which is great because it really stood the test of time. It does get wrinkly easily because it is cotton, but that's fine. I'd rather be sweating in cotton than polyester. So that's pretty great. I do like the flaps on the back. I have a plan for the future, not for this. Oh, maybe I can like do some puffy paint around that. That'd be so cute. But anyways, in the future, I'm going to do a trim that's a different pattern, or I'm going to do the main body as a different pattern and then, you know, do a plain trim. Because I think that would be really fun to just really experiment with this pattern because I really like it. I need to get more like, or make more boleros. I think that's going to really come in handy this summer because we are currently in a drought. We're not in the severe drought like the north and south. We're in Central Florida, so we're still in a drought, but all right, let me go get the other one. And last but not least, we have the shorts. These, I don't really have much to say about them. Oh, I do, because I did try something different. Did I tell you guys? Oh, you know, it was in the part that I didn't like listen to or like forgot to turn on. Anyways, I need to remember in the future, I do need to sew down the pleats before I put the zipper in. And then maybe in the future, I should sew down the outer edge of the zipper before the inner edge, because I think that's why my fabric puckers up so much. And then like the tension is all kinds of wacky doodle. So I think that's 2 lessons I learned from this. I don't really have any other notes because like I said, this is a pattern that I use all the time. I may or may not dye it. Not sure at this moment. I do know that now that I have 2 pieces done, so if I want to finish the gajinka, I need to start with the hat, because I think the hat, like not having the sleeves will be fine. It's the hat that will really sell it. So that's going to be a pretty easy. Let me pull it out real quick. This is going to be the hat pattern. And it looks like there's only like 6 pieces, and one of those pieces are the circle part. On the money, there's 6 pieces. So look at me go. I think that I will probably go for a hat with the veil. I think that would be really fun. It has the options right here. I'm going to do the pointy hat as opposed to the flat hat, just because like, I don't know. I think the veil would look better. Well, then there's the pictures in the front. So here are the pictures. I do love how floppy that is. I don't really like the flat. It's just not for me. With the veil, I've wanted to make a hat with a veil for a long, long time. So I think this is going to be phenomenal. All All right, well, I need to edit this video and then start this. And I just don't want to get y'all stuck here because it's already like, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the night. All right, bye.